Tonight, as you settle in, I will speak slowly, and I will keep everything gentle and simple, like a quiet room with soft shadows. This is a calm historical sleep story for Mindleapic, and it will stay peaceful from the first sentence to the last. Before we begin, I want to ask you something in a soft way. Where are you listening from tonight? What is your country name? What is your city name? You do not need to answer out loud. You can just think of your place, the name of your street, or the feeling of your room. And while you rest there, we can travel very slowly to a different world. We will go back to the time of the Roman Empire, to a large public bathhouse in a busy city. The city is full of stone buildings and tiled roofs. It is full of footsteps and carts, full of sellers calling out prices, full of small daily plans. But inside the bathhouse, life can become slower. Inside, people speak in quieter voices. They move in calm routines. Warm air makes their shoulders drop. Steam makes the edges of the world feel softer. And in this bathhouse, there is an attendant, not a famous person, not a soldier, not a senator, just someone who works with water, heat, cloth, and simple tasks. His name in our story will be Lucius. Lucius is not rich. He is not powerful. He is not important in the way statues are important. But his day is real. His day is steady. His day is filled with small actions that repeat again and again, like slow waves. And repetition is comforting. So let us begin gently at the start of one ordinary day. Lucius wakes before the sun is fully up. The room where he sleeps is modest. The walls are plain. The light comes in softly, not bright, because the window is small and the street outside is narrow. He hears a few early sounds, a distant door, a footstep, a donkey shifting its weight. He lies still for a moment. He breathes. His body is warm under a simple blanket. His thoughts are quiet. Then, slowly, he sits up. He places his feet on the floor. The floor is cool. He pauses again, as if he is remembering the shape of the day ahead. The bathhouse will need him. The rooms will need to be prepared. The water will need attention. The towels will need folding. The benches will need wiping. Small tasks, clear tasks. Lucius stands, stretches his arms once, and then once again, a little slower. He feels the stiffness leave his shoulders. He washes his face with a little water from a clay jug. The water is cold, and it wakes him gently. He does not rush. He eats something simple, a piece of bread, not fresh from an oven, but still good. Maybe a few olives, nothing special, enough to begin. When he is ready, he puts on his working tunic. It is plain. It is comfortable. It is already familiar against his skin. He steps outside. The early air is cool. The sky is turning lighter. The stones of the street hold the night's chill. Lucius walks with an easy pace. Not fast, not slow, just steady. As he walks, he passes familiar places. A small shop with shutters closed. A fountain where water trickles quietly. A doorway where someone is sweeping the steps. He nods once to a man he recognizes. The man nods back. No long talk, only a small greeting. Lucius keeps walking. The bathhouse is not far. It is a large building with thick walls. From the outside, it looks heavy and strong, made of stone and brick. The Romans build things to last, and their bathhouses are built for many bodies, many voices, many hours of warmth. Lucius reaches a side entrance used by workers. He opens the door. Inside, the air is still cool at this early time. The warmth will come later, when the fires are working, and the water begins to move through the hidden spaces of the building. The bathhouse is quiet now. No laughter, no splashing, no sandals tapping on the floor, only silence and the smell of stone, and the faint memory of yesterday's steam. Lucius steps in and closes the door behind him. He listens. There is always a particular sound in a bathhouse when it is empty. It is a sound like a held breath, a sound like waiting. He moves through the halls, where the floors are made of stone or tile, sometimes decorated with patterns. In some places there are mosaics, pictures made from small pieces of colored stone, fish, waves, geometric shapes. Lucius does not stop to admire them, not because they are not beautiful, but because he sees them every day. They are part of the place now, like the shape of the doorways, like the smell of damp stone. He heads first toward the rooms that will need the most attention. The warm rooms, the hot rooms, the places where the air becomes heavy and soothing. To make a bathhouse work, there are fires. There is heat. There is a system, hidden under the floors and inside the walls, that carries warmth through the building. In some bathhouses, there is a hypocaust system. That is a way of heating. The floor is raised on small pillars, leaving an empty space underneath. Hot air from the furnace moves through that space, warming the stones above. It is clever. It is quiet. It is not meant to be seen by the guests, but Lucius knows it is there, because he feels it in his work. He smells the smoke sometimes. He hears the workers in the furnace area. He knows when the heat is rising correctly and when it is not. Today, Lucius is not the man who tends the furnace. Another worker does that, a man with soot on his hands and heat on his face. But Lucius still checks the general readiness of the rooms. He walks into the apoditerium, the changing room. This is where visitors will undress, where they will place their clothes in niches or on shelves. There are benches. There are hooks. There are small spaces along the walls for storage. Lucius looks around. He checks the benches for dust or dirt. He brushes away a bit of grit. He straightens a wooden stool that has been moved slightly. He aligns it so it is neat again. Neatness matters in a small way. Order feels calm. Then he goes to a corner where baskets hold folded cloths, towels, simple linen cloths. Not all bathhouses provide them, but this one does. For a fee or for certain customers, or sometimes attendants sell them. Lucius begins to fold. He picks up a cloth, shakes it gently, and folds it in half. Then in half again. Then again, until it becomes a neat rectangle. He repeats, cloth, shake, fold, align the edges. Press lightly with his hands. Cloth, shake, fold. The work is quiet. The sound is soft. The whisper of linen. The light tap as it rests on the stack. As he folds, his mind becomes quieter. He does not need to plan many things at once. He only needs to fold. He only needs to stack. One cloth becomes two. Two become three. The stack becomes tidy, like a small wall of softness. After the cloths are ready, Lucius checks the oil. In Roman bathing, oil is important. People sometimes rub oil on their skin before bathing and after. They use it with a strigil, a curved scraper, to remove oil and sweat and dust. The strigil is a common tool. Many Romans own one. Some are simple, some are decorated. But the action is similar for all. A slow scraping, a careful movement, a cleaning. Lucius makes sure there is enough oil in the small containers used by attendants. He lifts one container. He tilts it slightly. He watches the surface of the oil move. It is golden. It reflects the low light. He sets it down. He checks another. Enough. He checks the small strigils that the bathhouse keeps for those who do not bring their own. He does not polish them to shine like jewelry. He simply ensures they are clean and not sticky. He places them in order, side by side. Order again. Then he walks deeper into the building, toward the tepidarium. The tepidarium is the warm room. Not hot, not cold, just warm. It is a room where bodies adjust slowly, a place where visitors can rest and talk, a place where they can sit and feel their muscles soften. Lucius steps in. The air is not warm yet, not fully. but it will be. He looks at the benches along the walls. In some bathhouses, the walls are decorated, and the benches are stone, sometimes covered with cloth. In this one, the benches are plain stone, smoothed by many years of use. Lucius wipes them with a cloth. He moves slowly, making wide, calm strokes, left to right, then again. He checks the floor for any small mess. Yesterday's moisture has dried in places. He wipes where needed. He does not mind this work. The bathhouse is a place that becomes messy, then clean again, messy, then clean again, like the sea washing ashore. Now he moves to the caldarium, the hot room. This room will be steamy later, when the water is hot and the air holds heat. There may be a hot pool here, or basins, or places for hot water to be poured. Lucius stands in the doorway for a moment and looks. The light in the caldarium is different. It can reflect off wet stone. It can shine on curved surfaces. Sometimes there are small windows high up, letting in beams of sunlight. At this early hour, the room is dim. Lucius checks the basins. He checks that nothing is left behind. He checks that the area looks ready. He touches a stone surface with the back of his fingers. Still cool. The heat has not risen yet. The day is still beginning. Then Lucius moves toward the water. A bathhouse needs water in many forms. Cold water, warm water, hot water. Some water is stored. Some is brought. Some comes through pipes. Romans are known for their aqueducts, their engineering, their ability to bring water from far away into cities. But even in a well-built city, water must be managed. It must be guided. It must be controlled. Lucius does not control the entire system, but he is part of the daily care. He goes to a small area where water containers are kept and where attendants can fill jugs for cleaning or for helping guests. He fills a jug. He hears the water pour. It is a steady sound. It is calming. He carries it carefully, feeling the weight. He pours some into a smaller bowl for cleaning tasks. He sets the rest aside. Slow actions, simple actions. As he works, other staff begin to arrive. A man who tends the furnace passes by, already smelling faintly of smoke. He gives Lucius a brief look, a small nod. No talk needed. Each knows his role. Another attendant comes in, younger than Lucius, carrying a bundle of cloth. He looks a little sleepy. Lucius smiles faintly. Not wide, just enough to be kind. The younger man begins to work too, and now the bathhouse starts to wake. Not loudly, but steadily. Somewhere deeper in the building, there is the sound of fire being fed. A low crackle, a dull thump as wood is placed. The furnace man is working. Heat begins to form. Lucius continues his preparations. He checks the entrance area where customers will arrive. He checks a small table where fees might be collected, or where small items might be sold. He straightens a container of small wooden tokens used to mark payments. He aligns them. Then he stands still for a moment. He listens again. Now he can hear more. The building is no longer holding its breath. It is breathing softly. Soon the first customers will come. In Roman life, bathhouses are important places. People come to bathe, yes, but also to meet friends, to talk, to relax, to pass time. Some come after work. Some come before dinner. Some come just to sit in the warm room and feel their joints loosen. And attendants like Lucius make the experience smooth. Lucius has learned how to move without disturbing, how to offer help without making a scene, how to be present, but not loud. This is a skill in itself. And now, as the morning advances, the first visitors arrive. Lucius hears the outer door open. Footsteps, voices, low at first, then a bit brighter as men greet one another. The changing room begins to fill. Lucius stands near the baskets of cloth, watching, ready to help. A man approaches, older, with a careful walk. His shoulders are slightly rounded. He looks around as if checking where to place his sandals. Lucius steps forward. He does not rush. He offers a small gesture toward an empty niche. The man nods and uses it. Lucius waits nearby. When the man removes his tunic, Lucius looks away politely, not staring, because even in public spaces, respect matters. The man asks quietly for a cloth. Lucius hands him one. He does it in a calm way, not like a salesman, not like a guard, just like a helper. The man takes it. He offers a small coin. Lucius accepts it with a nod. The transaction is simple. The man moves toward the warm room. More visitors arrive. 2 friends talking, a younger man, energetic, a man with a serious face, a man who seems tired. The bathhouse becomes a place of many different moods, but the warmth slowly smooths them. Lucius stays steady. He moves quietly to wipe a small wet patch on a bench. He replaces a cloth that fell. He picks up a sandal someone left in the wrong place and sets it near its owner's niche. He does these things without making anyone feel embarrassed. He moves like a shadow, but a helpful shadow. Now, the tepidarium begins to do its work. The heat from below has risen enough that the stone floor feels faintly warm. Not hot, just warm, like sunlight that has been sitting on a rock. Lucius walks through the tepidarium briefly, checking. He sees people sitting, leaning back, speaking softly. Some laugh gently. Some speak of ordinary things, a price at the market, a neighbor, a small family matter. No grand politics, no war planning, just life. Lucius moves on. In the caldarium, the heat is stronger now. Steam begins to appear, thin at first, then more present. The hot water is ready. Lucius checks a basin and sees the surface of water trembling slightly, as if it holds its own quiet energy. A man calls for help. Lucius approaches. The man is holding a strigil, but he is unsure how to use it properly, or perhaps he simply wants assistance. Lucius has done this many times. He gestures gently. He takes the strigil for a moment, shows the angle, shows the slow movement. Not hard scraping, not fast, just steady. The man watches, then tries. Lucius nods. The man looks satisfied. Lucius steps back. Again, present, then gone. At another moment, someone asks for oil. Lucius brings a small amount in a container. He offers it. He keeps his face calm, his voice low. The smell of oil is faint, pleasant, mixed with steam and stone. Lucius continues. Time in a bathhouse can feel different. The outside city has sharp sounds and bright sunlight. But inside, heat slows everything down. Even words become softer. Even steps become slower. Lucius likes this. There is a rhythm to his day. There is a rhythm to the building. He listens to the small sounds. Water moving, a cloth being wrung out, a low conversation, sandals sliding on stone. He learns the building's language. When a room becomes too crowded, he notices. When a bench becomes too wet, he notices. When someone looks uncertain, he notices. And he responds with small actions. He wipes. He offers. He points. He folds. He carries. He cleans. One of the calming things about Lucius's work is that it always returns to the same steps. A cloth becomes messy. He washes it. He folds it again. A basin becomes used. He rinses it. It becomes clear again. A bench becomes wet. He wipes it. It becomes dry. The day moves forward in circles, not in sharp lines. Now let us slow down even more and follow Lucius through one full, ordinary sequence. A man finishes in the caldarium and moves toward the frigidarium, the cold room. Not every bathhouse has a large cold pool, but many do. Cold water is part of the routine. After warmth, cold feels bright. It makes the skin feel alive. Lucius walks behind the man at a respectful distance, carrying a cloth for him, because the man has asked. The hallway between rooms is cooler, and the stone underfoot changes temperature. Lucius feels it through his sandals. They arrive in the cold room. The air here is crisp compared to the warm rooms. It is not freezing, but it is fresh. The cold pool holds still water, darker in color. The surface looks calm, like a quiet mirror. The man steps to the edge. He breathes in. He steps in quickly, but not violently. The water rises around his legs, then his waist, then his chest. He makes a small sound, half surprise, half pleasure. Lucius stands nearby with the cloth, waiting. He looks away slightly, giving privacy. Then the man steps out. Water streams from his arms, from his shoulders. It makes small sounds as it returns to the pool or drips onto the floor. Lucius offers the cloth. The man takes it. He dries slowly. Lucius waits. When the man is done, Lucius takes the wet cloth and places it in a basket for washing. He will wash it later. He will fold it later. Again, the cycle. Now Lucius returns to the changing room. More visitors have arrived. Some are leaving. The room has a gentle chaos. People moving, talking, dressing, undressing. But Lucius stays calm. A man cannot find his sandals. He looks annoyed, then confused. Lucius quietly checks under a bench. He finds them slightly pushed back. He lifts them and places them in front of the man without making a big show. The man's face relaxes. He nods. Lucius nods back. Small piece. At midday, the bathhouse is at its busiest. The furnace has been working for hours. The warm rooms are truly warm now. The hot room is heavy with steam. The air smells of heat, oil, wet stone. Lucius feels sweat on his own skin, but he does not mind. Sweat is normal in this place. He drinks water when he can. He takes small sips. He feels the water cool his throat. Then he continues. In a quieter moment, when there is a small break between groups of visitors, Lucius steps into a side area where staff keep supplies. There are more cloths here, some clean, some waiting to be washed. There are jars of oil. There are small tools. Lucius begins to wash cloths. He fills a basin with water. He scrubs gently. He wrings the cloth. The action is steady and rhythmic. Scrub, rinse, wring, fold if it is ready. If not, hang to dry. He repeats. This work can be boring in a peaceful way. It does not require sharp thinking. It requires presence. It requires hands. Lucius's hands are used to this. They are strong enough, but not rough. They know cloth. They know water. As he washes, he hears the bathhouse around him. Voices coming and going. The occasional laugh. The splash from a pool. He is inside the sound, but also slightly apart from it. This is his place. Now, slowly, the afternoon begins. The light outside changes. The sun moves. Inside, the bathhouse still feels the same, because the stone holds warmth and the routine holds steady. But Lucius notices small shifts. Fewer young men, more older men. More quiet talk, less joking. More tired bodies arriving after labor. He welcomes them the same way, quietly. A man with dusty feet arrives, perhaps from a workshop. His arms are strong. His face is tired. He pays the fee, places his clothes away, and steps into the warm room. Lucius watches his shoulders drop as the heat reaches him. Lucius sees that moment often, and it is always the same. Heat softens. Steam calms. A man who looked hard becomes gentle. A man who looked sharp becomes slow. That is what a bathhouse does. Lucius continues his duties. He keeps the floors safer by wiping wet spots. He clears away used oil containers. He refills water jugs. He folds cloths again. He checks the basins. He does it without drama, without hurry. He is like a small part of a machine that makes comfort. Now, let us linger in one specific room for a while, so the story becomes even slower. We will sit in our imagination, on a bench in the tepidarium. Lucius passes by. The room is warm. The stone underfoot is pleasantly heated. The air is not heavy like the caldarium, but it is soft. People sit along the walls. Their skin glows slightly from warmth. Their hair is damp. A quiet conversation happens nearby. Two men discuss a meal they might have later. Bread, cheese, maybe some fish, something simple. Another man speaks about a small repair needed at his home. A roof tile, a door hinge. Nothing urgent, nothing sharp. Lucius approaches the bench where we sit. He wipes a small area with a cloth, making it clean and dry. He moves away. In a corner, a small bowl of oil sits on a stone ledge. The oil catches the light. The room smells faintly of olive oil, warm stone, and water. The sound of the bathhouse is like a distant river. Now, Lucius steps into the caldarium again. He checks the hot pool. Steam rises. The walls are damp. Water clings to stone. A visitor sits near the pool, letting the heat soak in. Lucius moves behind him, not close enough to disturb, but close enough to help if needed. The visitor is quiet, eyes half closed. Lucius does not speak. He simply stands, then walks away, leaving the man in peace. As the day goes on, Lucius notices the familiar signs that the bathhouse will soon begin to close. Not suddenly, not like a loud ending, but slowly, like a fire becoming smaller. The number of new visitors becomes fewer. The voices become lower. Some rooms become less crowded. Lucius begins to prepare for closing duties, even while still serving those inside. He gathers used cloths. He checks which areas will need more cleaning. He watches how much oil remains. He makes mental notes, simple notes. When the closing time approaches, staff gently encourage guests to finish. No shouting, just calm reminders. Lucius watches the last few visitors move through their final steps. Warm room, hot room, cold room, then changing. The changing room becomes full again for a moment, but now it is different. People are dressing, tying belts, adjusting sandals. They speak about going home, about dinner, about sleep. Lucius understands that feeling. As the last guests leave, the bathhouse becomes quiet again. The door closes, footsteps fade, and suddenly the building seems to exhale. Lucius stands in the empty changing room for a moment. The benches are damp in places. The air smells of steam and oil and human presence. But now it will return to a clean state. That is what happens every day. Lucius begins the closing tasks. He moves through the rooms with a basket. He collects cloths. He checks niches for forgotten items. A hairpin, a small pouch, a simple ring. If he finds something, he places it in a safe area for tomorrow. He wipes benches. He sweeps small bits of dust and grit from corners. He rinses basins. He pours out used water. He refills certain containers so the morning will be easier. He works slowly because there is no need to rush now. The fires in the furnace area will be reduced. The heat will lessen over time. The stone will slowly cool through the night. Lucius's body is tired, but it is a simple tiredness, the kind that comes from steady work and repeating motions. It is not a nervous tiredness. It is not a sharp tiredness. It is the tiredness that makes sleep easier. As Lucius finishes the last tasks, he takes a moment to wash his own hands. He rubs them with water, cleaning away the day. He dries them with a cloth. He looks around one last time. The bathhouse is ready for quiet. The rooms are empty. The air is calm again. Lucius leaves through the worker's door. Outside, the city feels cooler now. The light is softer. The day is turning toward evening. Lucius walks home at the same steady pace. He passes the fountain again. He hears the water. He passes the shop shutters. He passes a doorway where someone is lighting a small lamp. He reaches his home. Inside, he eats a simple meal. Bread again, maybe a little cheese, perhaps a few dates if he has them. He drinks water. He sits. He feels the day settle in his body. And then, as night grows quiet, he lies down. His mind does not need to hold many thoughts. It can be simple. It can be slow. It can be empty, like an unused room, ready for rest. He closes his eyes. The bathhouse will wake again tomorrow, and his hands will fold cloth again, and wipe benches again, and carry water again. But for now, the day is over. And for you, listening tonight, I hope the warm rooms and whispered steps have helped you feel calmer. If you feel relaxed with Mindleapic, you can like if you want, and you can subscribe if you feel it helps you relax more. The next morning arrives in the same gentle way. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is loud. The light slowly enters Lucius's small room again, touching the wall, then the floor, then the edge of his blanket. The air is cool, and the city is only just beginning to wake. Lucius opens his eyes. He does not move quickly. He lets himself rest for a few breaths. Inhale, slow, exhale, even slower. His body remembers yesterday, but not in a heavy way, only in a quiet, steady way. He sits up just like before, feet on the floor, cool stone, a pause. This is how his days begin, and there is comfort in knowing what comes next. He washes his face again with the same clay jug, the same cool water. The touch of it is familiar now, almost expected. It wakes him, but gently, not sharply. A simple meal again. Bread, maybe a little oil. Nothing complicated. Nothing that needs thinking. He dresses in his work tunic, the fabric soft from many uses. It rests easily on his shoulders, and once again he steps outside. The street is similar to yesterday, but not exactly the same. A different person sweeping, a different sound in the distance, a cartwheel turning slowly somewhere far away. Lucius walks, the same path, the same turns, the same quiet rhythm of footsteps against stone. He arrives at the bathhouse. The door opens with the same sound. Inside, the same stillness waits. But today is not exactly yesterday, because in small ways, every day shifts, and Lucius notices these small changes. He begins again with the changing room. The benches are cool. The air is still. The baskets of cloth are ready, but not perfectly arranged after yesterday's use. He begins to fold again. Cloth, shake, fold. The motion feels even smoother today. His hands know exactly how much pressure to use, how to align the edges, how to place each folded piece on the stack so it does not slip. There is a quiet satisfaction in doing something well, even if it is simple. He builds the stack slowly. Each cloth rests on the one before it. Each layer adds to a sense of order. Then he moves to the oil containers. He lifts one. The surface moves, reflecting light from the doorway. He adjusts the position so it sits evenly. He wipes a small drop from the side with a cloth. He sets it down again. Nothing wasted. Nothing rushed. Now, deeper into the bathhouse. Today, the furnace worker has arrived earlier. Lucius can already feel a faint warmth under his feet in certain parts of the floor. The hypocaust is beginning its quiet work, heat moving where it cannot be seen. Lucius walks slowly through the tepidarium. The warmth is just beginning. He places his hand on a stone bench, slightly warmer than yesterday at this same time. He nods to himself. Everything is working. In the caldarium, the air is still cool, but there is a promise of heat. Lucius checks the basins again. He leans slightly, looking at the water, making sure it is clear. He adjusts a small container. He wipes a thin line of moisture from the edge of a stone surface. Again, small actions. Then he moves to the water area. He fills a jug. The sound of pouring water is steady, like a quiet stream. He carries it carefully. The weight is familiar now. He sets it down. He pours some into a basin. He pauses. He listens. The bathhouse is beginning to wake again. A footstep. Another. A low voice. The outer door opens, and the first visitors of the day arrive. Lucius returns to his place in the changing room. Today, the first visitor is younger. He moves quickly, with energy. He speaks a little louder than needed, but not too loud. Lucius watches calmly. The young man removes his tunic and looks around, unsure where to place it. Lucius gestures again, gently, toward an empty niche. The young man nods and places his clothes there. He asks for oil. Lucius hands him a small amount. The exchange is simple. Coin, oil, nod. The young man moves toward the warm room, eager for the heat. Lucius stays. More visitors come, and with each one, the same pattern repeats. But each person is slightly different. One man is quiet and thoughtful. Another speaks slowly, choosing his words. Another seems distracted, as if his mind is somewhere else. Lucius notices these things, but he does not judge. He only adjusts his presence. With the quiet man, he moves even more quietly. With the distracted man, he makes sure gestures are clear. With the slower speaker, he does not rush. This is part of his skill. Not just cleaning, not just carrying, but understanding without asking too many questions. Now the bathhouse fills slowly. The tepidarium becomes warm. The caldarium begins to hold steam again. The frigidarium waits, cool and still. Lucius moves between rooms. He carries a fresh cloth to one man. He collects a used one from another. He wipes a bench. He adjusts a container. He steps aside to let two men pass. He never moves suddenly. Everything is smooth. Everything is predictable. And that predictability is calming. Now, let us slow down again and follow one quiet sequence. A man sits in the tepidarium. His eyes are half closed. His breathing is slow. Lucius approaches quietly. There is a small drop of water near the man's foot. Lucius wipes it gently without disturbing him. The man does not even notice. Lucius steps away. The room remains calm. In another corner, two men speak in low voices. Their words are not urgent. They speak about something small, a delivery, a price, a neighbor. Lucius hears but does not listen. The words pass through the air like soft wind. Now, into the caldarium again. The heat is stronger now. Steam rises more clearly. Lucius feels it on his skin. He moves carefully because the floor can be slightly wet. A man signals for help with a strigil. Lucius approaches. He demonstrates again. Slow movement. Gentle pressure. The curved metal glides across the skin. Oil and dust are removed. The motion is almost rhythmic. The man follows. Lucius nods, then steps away. Again present, then gone. Now the frigidarium. A different kind of quiet here. Cool air. Still water. A man stands at the edge of the pool. He hesitates. Lucius stands at a distance. The man steps in. The cold reaches him. A quick breath. Then stillness. Lucius watches the surface of the water ripple slightly, then become calm again. Everything returns to stillness. Lucius turns away. Back to work. As the morning moves forward, the bathhouse becomes fuller. More voices, more movement, but still controlled, still calm in its own way. Lucius adapts. He moves a little more often. He carries more cloths. He refills oil more frequently. But he does not lose his rhythm. He keeps the same pace. Steady, even, reliable. Now we slow again. Lucius in a side room. Washing cloths, scrub, rinse, wring. The sound of water is soft. The motion repeats. Again and again. There is no need to think ahead. Only this moment. Only this cloth. Only this movement. His hands move without effort. His mind becomes quiet. Outside, the bathhouse continues. Inside, Lucius continues. Now midday, the warmest time. the busiest time. The air in the caldarium is thick. The tepidarium is full. The changing room is active. Lucius moves more, but still calmly. He notices a bench becoming too wet. He wipes it. He notices a cloth falling. He picks it up. He notices a man looking uncertain. He steps closer, gestures, helps. Small actions, always small. Now, a slightly different moment. A man drops a small object. A ring. It rolls slightly. Lucius sees it. He bends slowly. He picks it up. He returns it without words. The man nods. A quiet thank you. Lucius nods back. Nothing more. This is how trust builds, not with big actions, but with small, repeated care. Now, the afternoon begins again. The light changes outside. Inside, the heat remains, but the feeling shifts. Slightly quieter, slightly slower. Lucius notices. He adjusts again. He begins to prepare for later. He organizes cloths. He checks supplies. He thinks ahead, but only a little. Not too much. The rhythm continues, and so does the calm. Lucius walks once more through the tepidarium. He looks at the people resting. He sees shoulders relaxed. He sees eyes closing. He sees calm faces, and he understands. This place is not just for cleaning the body. It is for softening the day, for slowing the mind, for letting time stretch. Lucius is part of that, not in a loud way, but in a steady, quiet way. And as the day slowly moves forward, he continues, step by step, cloth by cloth, room by room, without hurry, without noise, without pressure, only simple work, only calm repetition, only the slow life of a Roman bath attendant. The days continue, one after another, each one shaped in the same quiet pattern. Lucius wakes again, the same small room, the same soft light, the same cool floor beneath his feet. And yet, even inside repetition, there are tiny changes. Today, the air feels slightly warmer when he wakes. Not by much, just enough that he notices it without thinking. The kind of change that does not disturb, only shifts the edges of the morning. He sits up slowly. He breathes. There is no rush waiting for him, only the same sequence, the same calm path. Water on his face, simple food, the same tunic resting on his shoulders. And then, the walk. The street greets him again, a bird somewhere above, making a soft sound, a distant voice, not loud enough to understand. A door opening, then closing. Lucius walks with the same pace. He does not count his steps, but if he did, they would likely be the same as yesterday. Stone underfoot. Turn at the corner. Pass the fountain. Reach the bathhouse. The door opens, and once again, the quiet space welcomes him. There is something peaceful about entering a place before it fills with people. A kind of stillness that belongs only to the early hour. Lucius pauses just inside. He listens. The bathhouse is empty, but not silent. There is always a soft presence, a memory of water, a faint echo of yesterday's movement. He begins his work. The changing room first. Cloths need folding again, always folding. He lifts one, shakes it gently, folds once, then again, and again. The rhythm returns to his hands without effort. Each fold is familiar, each movement soft. The stack grows, not fast, just steadily. And as it grows, the room feels more ready, prepared, ordered, calm. Lucius places the final cloth on top. He adjusts the edges so everything is even. He steps back slightly, a small moment of stillness. Then, onward. He checks the oil containers. He lifts one, tilts it, watches the surface move. Still enough. He places it back carefully. He wipes a small ring of oil from the edge. Clean again, simple. He moves deeper inside. Today, the warmth has not yet begun. The floors are cool. The air is still. But Lucius knows this is only temporary. He walks into the tepidarium. The benches wait. The walls hold yesterday's memory of heat. He places his hand on the stone. Cool. He nods slightly. Then he begins to wipe. Slow strokes, left to right, then again. The cloth moves smoothly across the surface. No rush, no pressure, just enough to make it clean. He continues. Bench after bench. The sound is soft. Cloth against stone. A quiet, steady motion. Then the caldarium, the hot room that is not yet hot. The air is calm. The basins are still. Lucius walks in slowly. He checks the water. He leans slightly, looking at the surface. Clear. Still. He touches the edge of a basin. Cool. Soon it will be warm. Soon it will hold steam. But not yet. For now, everything is waiting. Lucius moves to the water area. He fills a jug. The sound of water pouring echoes gently in the space. It is one of the softest sounds in the bathhouse. He carries the jug, feels its weight, places it down, pours some into a smaller basin. The motion is smooth. The water settles. Still again. Then a pause. Lucius listens. A faint sound. The outer door. Someone has arrived. The first visitor of the day. Lucius returns to the changing room. A man steps in. Older. Slow. Careful. Lucius watches quietly. The man removes his sandals, places them down, looks around. Lucius gestures. A small movement toward an empty space. The man understands. He nods, places his clothes. Then he stands still for a moment, as if letting go of something. Perhaps a thought, perhaps a worry. Lucius has seen this many times. The moment when someone enters the bathhouse and begins to soften. The shoulders drop. The face relaxes. The breath slows. Lucius hands him a cloth. The man accepts. A small coin changes hands. No words needed. The man moves toward the tepidarium. Lucius watches him go, then turns back. More visitors arrive. A steady flow. Not fast, not slow. Just enough. The bathhouse begins to fill. The furnace has started its work. Deep inside, unseen, heat is growing. Lucius feels it first through the floor, a faint warmth. Then, slowly, more. He walks into the tepidarium again. The air is changing. It is no longer cool. It is becoming soft, comfortable. He watches as the first visitors sit. They lean back. They close their eyes. They breathe. Lucius moves quietly between them. He wipes a small drop of water. He adjusts a cloth. He steps aside for a passing man. Everything is smooth. Now the caldarium begins to change. Steam appears, thin at first, then thicker. The heat rises. The air becomes heavier. Lucius feels it on his skin. Warm, not uncomfortable. Just present. A man calls for oil. Lucius brings it. He pours a small amount into the man's hand. The oil glistens, golden, warm. The man rubs it on his arms. Slow movements. Lucius steps back. Another man asks for help with a strigil. Lucius approaches. He demonstrates again. The same movement. Curved tool. Gentle pressure. Slow stroke. The rhythm is almost like breathing. In, out, forward, back. The man follows. Lucius nods, then leaves him to continue. Now, the frigidarium. Lucius walks in. The contrast is clear. Cool air, still water, a quiet space. A man stands at the edge. He looks at the water, then steps in. The surface breaks, then settles. Lucius watches for a moment, then turns away. Back to the flow of work. The bathhouse is now fully alive. Voices, steps, water, cloth, oil, steam, all moving together. And within it, Lucius moves, not fast, not slow, just steady. He carries cloths. He washes. He folds again, always folding. Cloth, shake, fold. The same motion, again and again. And in this repetition, something happens. The mind becomes quiet. There is no need to think ahead, no need to rush, only the present task, only the current movement. Lucius feels this, even if he does not name it. He lives it. Now let us slow again. We sit in the tepidarium. The air is warm. The stone beneath us is soft with heat. Lucius passes by. He wipes a small space. He moves on. In the background, two men speak. Their voices are low. Their words are simple. Nothing urgent. Nothing heavy. Just conversation. The kind that fills space without demanding attention. Lucius moves into the caldarium again. The steam is thicker now. The light bends through it. Soft. Diffused. The room feels almost dreamlike. He walks carefully. The floor is damp. He checks a basin. He adjusts a small container. He wipes a surface. Then he pauses, just for a moment. He stands still. He breathes. The heat surrounds him. The sound is soft. Water. Breath. A distant voice. Then he moves again, always returning to motion, always returning to work. Now the afternoon begins to shift. The light outside changes. Inside, the rhythm continues, but slightly slower. Fewer new visitors. More resting. More quiet. Lucius notices. He adjusts. He begins small preparations. He gathers used cloths. He sorts them. He washes some. Scrub. Rinse. Wring. The water runs over his hands. Warm. Comforting. He repeats. Again and again. Time moves, but gently. No sharp edges. Only smooth transitions. Now the bathhouse begins to quiet. Slowly. Naturally. Some visitors leave. The changing room fills briefly, then empties again. Lucius continues. He wipes. He folds. He collects. He restores order. The cycle begins to close, but not fully. Not yet. There is still time, still movement, still warmth, and Lucius remains within it. Calm, steady, present, a quiet part of a quiet system. The slow life continues, unbroken, unrushed, unchanged in its calm nature, and as the light fades outside, the bathhouse prepares, once again, to return to stillness. The rhythm continues, not fast, not slow, just steady. Another day unfolds, much like the ones before it, and yet it feels slightly softer, as if the air itself has decided to move more gently. Lucius wakes again in his small, familiar room. The light comes slowly, touching the wall in a thin line, then spreading across the floor. He opens his eyes without effort. No sudden movement, no sharp thought, just awareness. He breathes in and out. His body remembers the work, but not in a heavy way, only in a quiet, settled way, like a place he has walked many times. He sits up, feet on the floor. The stone is cool, but not cold. He pauses there, as he always does. A small moment of stillness before the day begins. Then the same simple motions. Water on his face, the gentle touch of it, a piece of bread, a sip of water, the same tunic soft against his skin, and then the walk. Outside, the morning is calm. A faint breeze moves through the narrow streets. A sound of someone arranging items in a shop. A distant cart rolling slowly. Lucius walks. Step, step, step. Each footfall the same. Each turn familiar. He reaches the bathhouse. The door opens. The quiet greets him again. But today, something feels slightly different. Not in a way that disturbs. Just a small shift. The air inside holds a faint warmth already, as if the building has remembered yesterday's heat more clearly. Lucius notices. He does not stop. He moves forward. The changing room. The cloths. Always the cloths. He begins again. Cloth, shake, fold. The movement is slower today, not because he is tired, but because there is no need to hurry. Each fold becomes more deliberate, more gentle. The stack grows, soft, even, ordered. He adjusts the edges carefully, aligns them, then steps back. A small moment of quiet satisfaction. Then the oil. He lifts the container, tilts it, watches the surface move slowly, a soft reflection of light. He sets it down, wipes a small trace from the edge, everything in its place. Now, deeper into the bathhouse, the tepidarium. The warmth is already present, not strong, but noticeable. The stone beneath his feet holds a gentle heat. Lucius walks in. He pauses. He places his hand on a bench. Warm. He nods slightly. The system is working well today. The hippocaust beneath the floor is doing its quiet work. Heat moving unseen, spreading evenly. Lucius begins to wipe the benches. Slow strokes, left to right, then again. The cloth glides across the surface. The sound is soft, barely there. He moves from one bench to another. No rush, no pressure, just the steady repetition. Then the caldarium, the hot room. The air is already beginning to change. A faint layer of steam, light bending softly through it. Lucius steps inside. The warmth wraps around him. He feels it on his skin, on his face, on his arms. He moves carefully, checks the basins, looks at the water. Still, clear. He adjusts a small container, wipes a thin line of moisture. Then the water area. He fills a jug. The sound of pouring water echoes gently. He lifts it, feels the weight, carries it slowly, sets it down, pours. The water settles. Still again. Then, a sound. The outer door. The first visitors. Lucius returns. The changing room begins to fill. Today, there is a pair of friends. They speak softly. Their voices carry a calm rhythm. Lucius watches. He gestures toward a space. They understand. They place their clothes. They continue speaking. Their words are not urgent, not heavy, just simple conversation. Lucius offers cloths. They accept. Coins exchanged. Quiet nods. They move toward the warm room. More visitors follow. A steady flow. The bathhouse begins its daily life. The tepidarium fills. The warmth grows. People sit. They lean back. They close their eyes. They breathe. Lucius moves through them. Quiet. Careful. He wipes a small wet spot. He adjusts a cloth. He steps aside for someone passing. He is part of the movement, but not the center of it. Now the caldarium becomes more active. Steam rises thicker. The air grows heavier. Lucius feels it. He moves through it. A man requests oil. Lucius brings it. Pours a small amount. The oil glows in the soft light. The man rubs it slowly. Lucius steps back. Another man asks for help. The strigil, the same motion. Curved tool, gentle pressure, slow movement. The rhythm repeats. Again and again. Lucius demonstrates. The man follows. Lucius nods, then moves away. Now, let us slow down even more. The middle of the day. The bathhouse at its fullest, but also at its calmest, because everyone has settled into the warmth. We sit in the tepidarium. The air is warm, soft. The stone beneath us holds a steady heat. Lucius passes. He wipes a small space. He moves on. Around us, voices drift. Not loud, not sharp. Just present. A man speaks about bread. Another about a small repair. Another says nothing at all. Only breathing. Only stillness. Lucius moves into the caldarium. The steam is thick now. The light becomes soft, almost dreamlike. Shapes are less sharp. Edges are blurred. Lucius walks carefully. The floor is damp. He checks a basin, touches the edge. Warm. He wipes a surface, then pauses, just for a moment. He stands, breathes. The heat surrounds him. The sound is soft. Water. Breathing. A distant voice. Then, he moves again. Back to the flow. Back to the rhythm. Now, the frigidarium. Cool. Quiet. Still. The contrast is gentle but clear. A man stands at the edge of the pool. He steps in. The water moves, then settles. Lucius watches, then turns away, back to his work. Now, something small happens. A cloth falls. Lucius notices. He bends slowly, picks it up, shakes it gently, folds it again, places it back. Nothing wasted, nothing rushed. Another small moment. A man looks around, uncertain. Lucius approaches, gestures, helps. The man nods, relieved. Lucius steps away. These moments repeat, again and again, small, quiet, meaningful in their simplicity. Now the afternoon begins to soften. The light outside shifts. Inside, the rhythm slows. Fewer new visitors, more resting, more silence. Lucius notices. He adjusts. He begins small preparations. He gathers used cloths, carries them, sorts them. He washes, scrub, rinse, wring. The sound of water is steady, calm. He repeats, again and again. Time moves, but gently. No sharp edges, only smooth flow. Now, the bathhouse begins to quiet. Slowly, naturally. Some visitors leave. The changing room fills briefly, then empties again. Lucius continues. He wipes. He folds. He restores order. Everything returns to calm. The cycle closes, but softly, like a door gently shutting. Lucius walks once more through the tepidarium. The benches are less crowded. The air is still warm. He moves through, checks, adjusts. Then the caldarium. Steam begins to thin. The heat softens. The room feels lighter. Lucius stands for a moment, then moves on. The day is not over, but it is slowing, and Lucius moves with it. Always steady, always calm, always part of the quiet rhythm of the bathhouse. As the day slowly leans toward evening, the bathhouse begins to change in a soft and almost unnoticeable way. The warmth is still there. The rooms are still alive, but something begins to settle. The energy that once filled the space becomes calmer, like water after a ripple slowly returning to stillness. Lucius feels this change without needing to think about it. His body understands the rhythm now. His steps remain steady. His hands continue their work, but everything feels slightly slower. The tepidarium is no longer as full as it was at midday. A few visitors remain seated along the warm stone benches. Their shoulders are relaxed, their movements slower, their voices quieter. Some sit with their eyes closed, simply breathing in the warmth. Others speak in low tones, their conversations soft and unhurried. Lucius walks through the room, carrying a small stack of folded cloths. He notices a damp spot on a bench and wipes it gently. The cloth moving in smooth, even strokes. No one is disturbed. No one looks up. The calm remains unbroken. He moves toward the caldarium. The steam is still present, but not as thick as before. The air feels lighter now. The heat is softer, less intense. A man sits near the edge of a basin, letting the last of the warmth sink into his muscles. Lucius checks the water quietly, adjusting a small container near the edge. The surface of the water trembles slightly, then becomes still again. Everything returns to calm. A visitor signals for a cloth. Lucius steps forward, offering it without words. The man accepts it with a small nod. A simple exchange. No urgency, no noise, just a quiet understanding between two people sharing the same space. Now Lucius walks toward the frigidarium. The cool air greets him again. It feels clearer here, lighter. The pool remains still, its surface dark and calm like a quiet mirror. One man stands at the edge, taking his time before stepping in. He lowers himself slowly into the water. A small ripple spreads outward, then fades. Lucius watches for a brief moment, then turns away. His work continues. Back in the changing room, a few visitors are preparing to leave. They move slowly, dressing without haste. Sandals are adjusted. Tunics are tied. Conversations continue, but they are softer now, as if the day itself is becoming quieter. Lucius notices a pair of sandals placed slightly out of order. He bends, lifts them, and places them neatly beside their owner's clothing. The man notices, gives a small nod. Lucius returns it. Nothing more is needed. As more visitors leave, the room begins to empty. The sounds fade. The movement lessens. The bathhouse starts to feel like it did in the early morning, but warmer, as if it is holding the memory of the day. Lucius begins his closing routine. He gathers the used cloths first. One by one, he lifts them, places them into a basket. Some are damp, some heavier with water. He carries the basket slowly to the washing area. The movement is familiar. The weight is expected. He fills a basin with water. The sound is steady and calming. Then the rhythm begins again. Scrub, rinse, wring. The cloth twists in his hands, water falling back into the basin. He folds some immediately. Others he places aside to dry. Each movement is smooth, practiced, quiet. Scrub, rinse, wring. The repetition continues. Time moves, but gently. After washing, Lucius returns to the rooms. He wipes the benches again, even if they are only slightly damp. He checks the basins, emptying what needs to be emptied. He adjusts containers, straightens small items, restores order wherever it is shifted. In the tepidarium, the warmth remains but feels softer now. The benches are nearly empty. Lucius walks through slowly, checking each area. His steps are quiet, almost silent against the stone. In the caldarium, the steam begins to fade. The air is no longer heavy. The heat is still present, but it is no longer rising. It is settling, slowly, gently. Lucius stands for a brief moment, feeling the warmth on his skin, then continues. The furnace, deep within the building, is no longer being fed in the same way. The fire is reduced. The heat will slowly disappear through the night. Lucius moves to the entrance. The final visitors have left. The door closes, and just like that, the bathhouse becomes quiet again. Not empty in a cold way, but still in a warm way. A peaceful stillness. Lucius stands in the center of the changing room. He looks around. Everything is in place. The benches are clean. The cloths are stacked. The air is calm. He takes a slow breath, then exhales. The day is complete. He washes his hands one last time. The water runs over his fingers, removing the last traces of the day's work. He dries them with a cloth, placing it neatly aside. Then he walks to the door. He steps outside. The evening air greets him. Cooler now, softer. The light has changed. The sky holds a quiet color, somewhere between gold and gray. Lucius begins his walk home. The same path, the same steps, but now the city feels different, quieter, slower. He passes the fountain. The water still flows, steady and unchanged. He passes a doorway where a small lamp has been lit. He hears distant voices, softer now, preparing for the night. He continues, step, step, step. No hurry, no weight in his thoughts, only a gentle tiredness, the kind that comes from steady work, the kind that welcomes rest. He reaches his home. Inside, everything is simple. He eats a small meal, bread, maybe a few olives, water. He sits for a moment, then lies down. His body relaxes. His breathing slows. His mind becomes quiet. The day does not follow him. It stays behind, in the warm rooms, in the soft steam, in the quiet steps of the bathhouse. And here, in the stillness of night, Lucius rests, ready to begin again tomorrow. The same rhythm, the same calm life, the same gentle routine. Morning returns again, softly and without effort. The light enters Lucius's small room in the same gentle way, touching the edges of the wall, then the floor, then the simple space around him. He wakes slowly, not because he must, but because his body already understands the rhythm of the day. There is no sudden thought, no urgency, only a calm awareness that another day has begun. He lies still for a few breaths, listening. The distant sound of a cart, the faint movement of someone outside, a quiet world beginning again. Then, as always, he sits up. His feet meet the cool floor, a familiar feeling. He pauses, just for a moment, letting the day arrive gently. Water on his face, a simple meal, the same tunic resting lightly on his shoulders. And then, the walk. The street feels slightly different today. Not in any clear way, just a small shift in the air. Perhaps a little warmer, perhaps a little quieter. Lucius does not stop to think about it. He simply walks, step by step, stone beneath his feet, the same turns, the same path. He reaches the bathhouse and opens the door. Inside, the quiet waits for him again. But today, there is something else. A faint warmth already present, as if the building has held on to the heat of yesterday more deeply. The stone beneath his feet is not as cool as before. The air feels softer. Lucius notices. He continues. The changing room first. The cloths are there, but slightly out of order from the previous day. He begins again. Cloth, shake, fold. The motion is smooth, practiced, almost effortless. Each fold aligns perfectly. Each movement follows the last without thought. The stack grows, neat, even, calm. He adjusts the edges, making sure everything sits correctly, then moves on. The oil containers. He lifts one, tilts it. The surface moves slowly, catching the light. Enough. He places it back, wipes a small trace from the edge. Everything clean, everything ready. Now the tepidarium. The warmth is already present. Lucius steps inside. The stone beneath his feet holds a gentle heat. He places his hand on a bench. Warm, not strong, just enough. He begins to wipe the surface. Slow strokes, left to right, then again. The cloth moves softly, the sound barely noticeable. He moves from one bench to another. No hurry, only the steady repetition. Then the caldarium. The air is beginning to change. A thin layer of steam forms. The light softens slightly. Lucius walks carefully. He checks the basins, looks at the water. Still, clear. He adjusts a container, wipes a small line of moisture, then moves to the water area. He fills a jug. The sound of pouring water echoes gently. He lifts it, carries it, sets it down, pours. The water settles again. Still, then, the first sound of the day. The outer door. A visitor arrives. Lucius returns to the changing room. A man steps inside. He looks around quietly. Lucius gestures toward a space. The man nods, places his clothes, receives a cloth. A simple exchange. No words needed. The man moves toward the warm room, and the day begins again. More visitors arrive, one by one, a steady flow. The bathhouse slowly fills. The tepidarium becomes warmer. People sit. They lean back. They breathe. Lucius moves among them. Quiet, careful. He wipes a small wet spot, adjusts a cloth, steps aside. Everything smooth. Now the caldarium. The steam grows thicker, the air warmer. Lucius feels it on his skin. A man asks for oil. Lucius brings it, pours a small amount. The oil glows softly. The man rubs it onto his arms. Slow movements. Lucius steps back. Another man asks for help with a strigil. Lucius approaches, demonstrates again. The same motion. Curved tool, gentle pressure, slow stroke. The rhythm continues. The man follows. Lucius nods, moves away. Now the frigidarium. Cool, still, quiet. A man steps into the pool. The water moves, then becomes calm again. Lucius watches briefly, then continues. Back to the rhythm. Now the bathhouse is alive again. Voices, steps, water, steam, but all of it remains soft, controlled, calm. Lucius moves through it, carrying cloths, washing, folding again. Cloth, shake, fold. The same motion, again and again. His hands move without thought. His mind remains quiet. There is no need to rush, no need to think ahead, only the present moment, only the current task. Now midday approaches. The bathhouse becomes fuller, the heat stronger, the steam thicker. But still, the calm remains. Lucius adapts. He moves more, but keeps the same pace, steady, even, reliable. He notices a bench too wet. He wipes it. A cloth falls. He picks it up. A man looks uncertain. He helps. Small actions, always small, always calm. Now, a slightly different moment. A man sits longer than others. Quiet. Still, Lucius passes by. He does not disturb him. He simply ensures the space remains clean. The man breathes slowly. The warmth surrounds him. Time stretches. Lucius continues. Now the afternoon begins. The light outside changes. Inside, the rhythm softens. Fewer visitors. More quiet. Lucius notices. He begins small preparations. He gathers used cloths, carries them, sorts them, washes, scrub, rinse, wring. The sound of water is steady, calm. He repeats, again and again. Time moves, but gently. No sharp edges, only flow. Now the bathhouse begins to quiet. Slowly, naturally. Some visitors leave. The changing room fills briefly, then empties again. Lucius continues, wiping, folding, restoring order. Everything returns to calm. The cycle continues, unbroken, unrushed. The same life, the same gentle routine, and Lucius remains within it. Quiet, steady, present. The morning returns again in the same soft and gentle way. Lucius opens his eyes slowly as the light enters his small room. He does not rush. He takes a calm breath and lets the stillness stay with him for a moment. His body feels slightly tired, but it is a soft and peaceful tiredness, the kind that comes from steady work, not stress. He sits up, places his feet on the cool floor, and pauses just like every day. This pause has become part of him. It is small but important. He washes his face with cool water, eats a simple piece of bread, and wears his familiar tunic. Nothing changes, and that is what makes it calming. The same actions, the same order, the same quiet rhythm. He steps outside and begins walking. The street is calm. A light breeze moves through the narrow path. Somewhere far away, a cart makes a slow sound. Lucius walks with the same steady pace. Stone beneath his feet. Same turns. Same direction. No need to think. He reaches the bathhouse and opens the door. Inside, the quiet space welcomes him again. The air feels slightly warm already. The building holds yesterday's heat like a memory that has not fully faded. Lucius notices but does not stop. He moves forward. He begins with the changing room. Cloths need folding again. Always the same task. He picks one up. Shake. Fold. Fold again. Then again. The movement is smooth and natural. His hands know exactly what to do. The stack slowly grows, neat and even. He adjusts the edges carefully, making sure everything is aligned. Then he checks the oil containers. He lifts one, tilts it slightly, watches the surface move, then places it back. He wipes a small drop from the side. Clean again. He walks into the tepidarium. The warmth is already there. The stone floor feels gently heated. He places his hand on a bench. Warm. He nods slightly and begins wiping. Slow strokes, left to right. Again. The cloth moves softly across the stone. No rush, just repetition. Then the caldarium. Steam is beginning to form. The air is warmer now. Lucius walks carefully, checks the basins, adjusts a container, wipes a small surface. Everything is in order. He fills a water jug. The sound of water pouring is calm and steady. He carries it, sets it down, pours again. The water settles into stillness. Then the first visitor arrives. Lucius returns to the changing room. A man enters quietly. Lucius gestures toward a space. The man understands. Clothes are placed. A cloth is given. A coin is exchanged. No words. The man walks toward the warm room. More visitors arrive. Slowly, steadily. The bathhouse begins to fill. The tepidarium becomes warm and calm. People sit, lean back, close their eyes. Lucius moves among them quietly. He wipes a small wet spot, adjusts a cloth, steps aside, always smooth, always gentle. The caldarium grows hotter. Steam becomes thicker. A man asks for oil. Lucius provides it. Another asks for help with a strigil. Lucius demonstrates. Slow motion, gentle pressure. The rhythm repeats. The man follows. Lucius nods and moves away. In the frigidarium, the water is still. A man steps in. Ripples form, then fade. Calm returns. Now the bathhouse is alive, but still peaceful. Voices are soft. Movements are slow. Lucius continues his work, carrying cloths, folding again. Cloth, shake, fold. Again and again. Repetition deepens the calm. Midday arrives, the busiest time, but also the most relaxed. People are fully settled in the warmth. Lucius moves more, but his pace does not change. He wipes, carries, adjusts, helps. Small actions only, no rush. A cloth falls. He picks it up. A man looks confused. He helps him. A small nod is exchanged. These moments repeat again and again. The afternoon begins to soften. Light changes outside. Inside, everything slows. Fewer visitors. More silence. Lucius notices and adjusts. He begins gathering used cloths, washing them. Scrub, rinse, wring. The sound of water is steady and calming. He repeats the motion again and again. His hands move without effort. His mind stays quiet. The bathhouse slowly empties. Visitors leave. The changing room fills briefly, then becomes quiet again. Lucius continues his work, wiping benches, folding cloths, restoring order. Everything returns to calm. The steam fades. The heat softens. The rooms become still again. Lucius walks through each room, one last time, checking, adjusting, ensuring everything is ready for tomorrow. The cycle continues. The same life, the same rhythm, the same quiet repetition. And within it, Lucius remains steady, calm, and present. The next day begins in the same gentle rhythm. But something feels even softer, as if the world itself has slowed down just a little more. Lucius wakes without effort. His eyes open slowly, and for a moment, he does not move at all. He simply breathes. The room is quiet. The light is dim and calm. He sits up, places his feet on the floor, and pauses. This small pause has become part of his life. It is not something he thinks about. It simply happens, a moment of stillness before movement. He washes his face, eats a small piece of bread, and prepares for the day. The same steps, the same order, the same calm feeling. He steps outside and begins walking. The street is quiet, a faint sound of movement in the distance. A door closing somewhere far away. Lucius walks with the same steady pace. Step by step, no rush, no thought of time. He reaches the bathhouse and enters. The quiet space greets him again. The air feels slightly warm, as if the building remembers yesterday. The stone beneath his feet is not cold, just gently cool. He begins his work. Cloths first. He picks one up, shake, fold, fold again, then again. The motion is smooth and slow. The stack grows neatly. Each cloth rests perfectly on the one before it. He checks the oil, lifts the container, tilts it, watches the surface move, sets it down, wipes the edge, everything in place. He walks into the tepidarium. The warmth is already present. The stone floor holds a soft heat. He places his hand on a bench. Warm. He wipes it slowly, left to right, then again. The sound is soft and steady. He moves into the caldarium. Steam begins to form. The air grows warmer. He checks the basins, adjusts a container, wipes a small surface, then the water. He fills a jug. The sound is calm. He carries it, pours. The water settles again. Then the first visitor arrives. Lucius returns to the changing room. A man enters quietly. Lucius gestures. The man understands. Clothes placed. Cloth given. Coin exchanged. No words. More visitors come. The bathhouse fills slowly. The tepidarium becomes warm and calm. People sit, lean back, close their eyes, breathe slowly. Lucius moves quietly among them. He wipes, adjusts, steps aside, always smooth. The caldarium grows hotter. Steam thickens. A man asks for oil. Lucius gives it. Another asks for help with a strigil. Lucius shows the slow movement. The man follows. The frigidarium remains cool. A man steps into the water. Ripples appear, then fade. The rhythm continues. Lucius carries cloths. Folds again. Cloth. Shake. Fold. The repetition deepens the calm. Midday passes gently. The bathhouse is full, but quiet in its own way. Voices are soft. Movements are slow. Lucius continues. He wipes a wet spot. Picks up a fallen cloth. Helps a confused visitor. Small actions. Always small. Then the afternoon begins to soften. The light changes. Inside, the rhythm slows. Fewer visitors arrive. More leave. Lucius notices and begins preparing. He gathers cloths, washes them, scrub, rinse, wring, again and again. The sound of water remains steady. The bathhouse slowly empties. The changing room becomes quiet. The caldarium loses its heavy steam. The tepidarium becomes calm and still. Lucius walks through each room, checking, adjusting, restoring order. Everything returns to its place. Now, the final moments of the day. The last visitor leaves. The door closes. Silence returns. Lucius stands for a moment. He looks around. The same rooms. The same stone. But now, completely still. He breathes in slowly, then out. He washes his hands, dries them, then steps outside. The evening air is cool and soft. The sky is fading into night. He walks home, step by step. No rush, no heavy thoughts, only a quiet tiredness. He reaches his home, eats a simple meal, sits, then lies down. His body relaxes. His breathing slows. His mind becomes quiet. The day fades away, and the calm remains. The same life, the same rhythm, the same gentle repetition. And once again, Lucius rests. Another morning arrives, almost the same as the one before, and yet even calmer. Lucius opens his eyes slowly, without effort, as if waking is simply a continuation of rest. The light is soft, touching the wall gently. He breathes in, then out, and for a moment, he does nothing. This stillness feels natural now, like part of his routine. He sits up, places his feet on the floor, and pauses. The cool stone greets him again. Familiar. Steady. He washes his face, eats a small piece of bread, and prepares without thinking. The same steps, the same order, the same quiet rhythm. He walks through the street. The air is calm. A distant sound moves slowly through the morning, but nothing feels sharp or urgent. His steps remain even. The same path, the same turns. The bathhouse waits. He opens the door and enters. The quiet welcomes him again. The air holds a gentle warmth, as if the building remembers every day that came before. The stone beneath his feet feels slightly warm already. Lucius notices, but does not stop. He begins. Cloths first. He lifts one. Shake. Fold. Fold again. Then again. The motion is slow, smooth, and practiced. Each fold aligns perfectly. The stack grows evenly. He adjusts the edges carefully. Then the oil. He lifts the container, tilts it, watches the surface move, places it back, wipes the edge. Clean. He walks into the tepidarium. Warm. The stone floor holds a soft heat. He places his hand on a bench. Warm. He wipes it slowly, left to right. Again. The cloth moves gently. Then the caldarium. Steam begins to form. The air grows warmer. He checks the basins, adjusts a container, wipes a surface. Water next. He fills a jug. The sound is calm and steady. He carries it. Pours. The water settles. Then the first visitor arrives. Lucius returns. A man enters. Quiet. Lucius gestures. The man understands. Clothes placed. Cloth given. Coin exchanged. No words. More visitors follow. The bathhouse fills. The tepidarium becomes warm and calm. People sit, lean back, close their eyes, breathe slowly. Lucius moves among them. Quiet. Careful. He wipes a wet spot, adjusts a cloth, steps aside. The caldarium grows hotter. Steam thickens. A man asks for oil. Lucius provides it. Another asks for help with a strigil. Lucius demonstrates. Slow motion. Gentle pressure. The rhythm continues. The frigidarium remains still. A man steps into the pool. Ripples form, then fade. Everything returns to calm. The rhythm deepens. Lucius continues. Cloth, shake, fold. Again and again. His hands move without effort. His mind stays quiet. Midday arrives. The bathhouse is full, yet peaceful. Voices remain soft. Movements slow. Lucius adapts. He wipes, carries, adjusts, helps. Small actions, always small. A cloth falls. He picks it up. A man looks uncertain. He helps him. A quiet nod. Nothing more. Time moves gently. The afternoon begins. The light shifts. The bathhouse slows. Fewer visitors. More silence. Lucius notices. He gathers cloths. Washes them. Scrub. Rinse. Wring. Again and again. The sound of water remains steady. The bathhouse empties slowly. The changing room quiets. The caldarium loses its heavy steam. The tepidarium becomes still. Lucius walks through each room, checking, adjusting, restoring order. Everything returns to its place. The final visitor leaves. The door closes. Silence returns. Lucius stands still for a moment. He breathes. The day is complete. He washes his hands, steps outside. The evening air is calm. The sky soft. He walks home, step by step. No rush, no thought, only quiet. He eats. He rests. He lies down. His breathing slows. His body relaxes. His mind becomes empty. And the cycle continues. The same life. The same calm. The same gentle passing of time. Morning comes again, just as gently as before. Lucius opens his eyes slowly, without any effort, as if waking is simply another quiet step in the same peaceful rhythm. The light enters his small room in a soft way, touching the wall and then the floor. He takes a slow breath and remains still for a moment, letting the calm stay with him. He sits up. His feet touch the cool stone floor. The same feeling returns, familiar, steady. He pauses, just like every day. Then he moves. Water on his face. A simple meal. The same tunic resting lightly on his shoulders. Nothing changes. And that is what makes everything feel so calm. He steps outside. The street is quiet. A faint sound of movement somewhere far away. The air feels still. Lucius begins walking, step by step. The same path. The same turns. The same steady rhythm. He reaches the bathhouse and opens the door. The quiet space welcomes him again. The air feels slightly warm, as if the building remembers every day that has passed inside it. The stone beneath his feet is not cold, just softly cool. Lucius begins his work. Cloths first. He picks one up, shake, fold, fold again, then again. The movement is slow, smooth, and familiar. His hands know exactly what to do. The stack grows neatly. He adjusts the edges carefully so everything stays even. Then the oil. He lifts the container, tilts it slightly, watches the surface move, sets it back, wipes a small trace from the side. Clean again. He walks into the tepidarium. Warm. The stone floor holds a gentle heat. He places his hand on a bench. Warm. He begins wiping it slowly, left to right. Then again. The cloth moves softly across the surface. Then the caldarium. Steam begins to form. The air grows warmer. He checks the basins, adjusts a container, wipes a small surface. Then the water. He fills a jug. The sound is calm and steady. He carries it carefully. Pours. The water settles into stillness. Then the first visitor arrives. Lucius returns to the changing room. A man enters quietly. Lucius gestures toward a space. The man understands. Clothes placed. Cloth given. Coin exchanged. No words. More visitors come. Slowly, steadily. The bathhouse fills again. The tepidarium becomes warm and calm. People sit, lean back, close their eyes. Their breathing slows. Their bodies relax. Lucius moves among them. Quiet, careful. He wipes a small wet spot, adjusts a cloth, steps aside. Always smooth, always gentle. The caldarium grows hotter. Steam becomes thicker. A man asks for oil. Lucius provides it. Another asks for help with a strigil. Lucius demonstrates. Slow motion, gentle pressure. The rhythm continues. The frigidarium remains still. A man steps into the pool. Ripples form, then fade. Everything returns to calm. The rhythm continues. Lucius carries cloths. Folds again. Cloth, shake, fold. Again and again. Repetition deepens the quiet. Midday arrives. The bathhouse is full but peaceful. Voices are soft. Movements are slow. Lucius continues. He wipes, carries, adjusts, helps. Small actions, always small. A cloth falls. He picks it up. A man looks uncertain. He helps him. A small nod. Then stillness again. Time passes gently. The afternoon begins. The light changes. Inside, the rhythm slows. Fewer visitors arrive. More leave. Lucius notices. He begins preparing. He gathers cloths, washes them, scrub, rinse, wring, again and again. The sound of water remains steady. The bathhouse slowly empties. The changing room becomes quiet. The caldarium loses its heavy steam. The tepidarium becomes still. Lucius walks through each room, checking, adjusting, restoring order. Everything returns to its place. The final visitor leaves. The door closes. Silence returns. Lucius stands for a moment. He breathes slowly. The day is complete. He washes his hands, steps outside. The evening air is soft. The sky calm. He walks home, step by step. No rush, no heavy thoughts, only quiet. He eats. He rests. He lies down. His body relaxes. His breathing slows. His mind becomes still. And the calm continues, endless, unbroken, gentle. Another day begins, just as quietly as all the others. Lucius opens his eyes slowly, as if he has never fully left the calm of rest. The light is soft. The room is still. He breathes in, then out, and for a moment he remains completely motionless. Then, as always, he sits up. His feet touch the cool floor. The same feeling returns. Familiar. Steady. He pauses, letting the moment settle. This pause has become part of his life, a small space of stillness before movement begins. He washes his face, eats a simple piece of bread, wears his tunic. The same actions, the same order, the same calm. He steps outside and begins walking. The street is quiet, a faint sound in the distance, but nothing that breaks the peace. His steps remain even, stone beneath his feet, the same path, the same turns. He reaches the bathhouse. The door opens. The quiet welcomes him again. The air feels gently warm. The building holds the memory of many days. Lucius notices, but continues without stopping. He begins his work. Cloths first. He picks one up, shake, fold, fold again, then again. The motion is smooth and natural. The stack grows evenly. He adjusts the edges carefully, then the oil. He lifts the container, tilts it, watches the surface move, places it back, wipes the edge. Clean, ordered, ready. He walks into the tepidarium. Warm. The stone floor holds a soft heat. He places his hand on a bench. Warm. He wipes it slowly, left to right, again. The cloth moves gently. Then the caldarium. Steam begins to form. The air grows warmer. He checks the basins, adjusts a container, wipes a surface, then the water. He fills a jug. The sound is calm. He carries it, pours. The water settles. Then the first visitor arrives. Lucius returns. A man enters quietly. Lucius gestures. The man understands. Clothes placed, cloth given, coin exchanged, no words. More visitors follow. The bathhouse fills. The tepidarium becomes warm and calm. People sit, lean back, close their eyes, breathe slowly. Lucius moves among them. Quiet, careful. He wipes a small wet spot, adjusts a cloth, steps aside, always smooth, always gentle. The caldarium grows hotter. Steam thickens. A man asks for oil. Lucius provides it. Another asks for help with a strigil. Lucius demonstrates. Slow motion, gentle pressure. The rhythm continues. The frigidarium remains still. A man steps into the pool. Ripples form, then fade. Everything returns to calm. The rhythm continues. Lucius carries cloths. Folds again. Cloth, shake, fold. Again and again. His hands move without effort. His mind remains quiet. Midday arrives. The bathhouse is full, yet peaceful. Voices are soft. Movements are slow. Lucius continues. He wipes, carries, adjusts, helps. Small actions, always small. A cloth falls. He picks it up. A man looks uncertain. He helps him. A small nod. Time moves gently. The afternoon begins. The light shifts. The bathhouse slows. Fewer visitors. More silence. Lucius notices. He gathers cloths. Washes them. Scrub. Rinse. Wring. Again and again. The sound of water remains steady. The bathhouse empties. The changing room becomes quiet. The caldarium loses steam. The tepidarium becomes still. Lucius walks through each room, checking, adjusting, restoring order. Everything returns to its place. The final visitor leaves. The door closes. Silence returns. Lucius stands still for a moment. He breathes. The day is complete. He washes his hands, steps outside. The evening air is calm. The sky soft. He walks home, step by step. No rush, No thought, only quiet. He eats, he rests, he lies down. His breathing slows, his body relaxes, his mind becomes still, and the rhythm continues, unchanged, gentle, endless. Morning comes again, calm and unchanged. Lucius opens his eyes slowly, as if he is still resting even while awake. The light is soft, the room is still, and for a moment he does nothing. He breathes in, then out, and lets the quiet remain around him. He sits up. His feet touch the floor. Cool, familiar. He pauses, just as he always does. Then he begins. Water on his face, a small piece of bread, the same tunic, the same life. He steps outside and walks. The street is quiet. A distant sound fades into nothing. His steps are steady. The same path, the same turns. He reaches the bathhouse and enters. The quiet welcomes him again. The air feels warm already. The stone beneath his feet holds a gentle heat. Lucius notices, but continues. He begins with the cloths. Shake, fold, fold again, then again. The stack grows neatly. He adjusts the edges. Perfect. Then the oil. Lift, tilt, watch, place, wipe. Clean. He walks into the tepidarium. Warm. The stone floor feels soft with heat. He places his hand on a bench. Warm. He wipes it slowly. Left to right. Again. Then the caldarium. Steam forms. The air warms. He checks the basins. Adjusts a container. Wipes a surface. Then the water. He fills a jug. The sound is calm. He carries it. Pours. The water becomes still again. Then the first visitor arrives. Lucius returns. A man enters quietly. Lucius gestures. The man understands. Clothes placed. Cloth given. Coin exchanged. No words. More visitors follow. The bathhouse fills. The tepidarium becomes calm and warm. People sit, lean back, close their eyes, breathe slowly. Lucius moves among them. Quiet, careful. He wipes, adjusts, steps aside. The caldarium grows hotter. Steam thickens. A man asks for oil. Lucius gives it. Another asks for help with a strigil. Lucius shows the slow movement. The rhythm continues. The frigidarium remains still. A man steps into the water. Ripples form, then fade. Everything returns to calm. Lucius continues. Cloth, shake, fold. Again and again. His hands move without effort. His mind remains quiet. Midday passes gently. The bathhouse is full, yet peaceful. Voices are soft. Movements are slow. Lucius continues. He wipes, carries, adjusts, helps. Small actions, always small. A cloth falls. He picks it up. A man looks uncertain. He helps him. A small nod. Then stillness again. The afternoon begins. The light changes. The bathhouse slows. Fewer visitors. More silence. Lucius notices. He gathers cloths. Washes them. Scrub. Rinse. Wring. Again and again. The sound of water remains steady. The bathhouse empties. The changing room becomes quiet. The caldarium loses steam. The tepidarium becomes still. Lucius walks through each room, checking, adjusting, restoring order. Everything returns to its place. The final visitor leaves. The door closes. Silence returns. Lucius stands still. He breathes slowly. The day is complete. He washes his hands, steps outside. The evening air is soft. The sky calm. He walks home, step by step. No rush, no thought, only quiet. He eats. He rests. He lies down. His breathing slows. His body relaxes. His mind becomes still, and the calm remains. Deep, soft, unbroken. Morning returns again, soft and unchanged. Lucius opens his eyes slowly, as if the calm of sleep has not fully left him. The light is gentle, touching the room without brightness. He breathes in, then out, and stays still for a moment. Then he sits up. His feet touch the floor. Cool, familiar. He pauses, just like always, then begins. Water on his face, a simple piece of bread, the same tunic resting lightly on his shoulders, the same life. He steps outside. The street is quiet. A distant sound fades quickly. His steps are steady. The same path, the same turns. He reaches the bathhouse. The door opens. The quiet welcomes him again. The air feels warm. The stone beneath his feet holds a gentle heat. The building remembers. Lucius begins. Cloths first. Shake. Fold. Fold again. Then again. The motion is smooth. The stack grows neat and even. He adjusts the edges carefully. Then the oil. Lift. Tilt. Watch. Place. Wipe. Clean. Ready. He walks into the tepidarium. Warm. The stone floor holds soft heat. He places his hand on a bench. Warm. He wipes slowly, left to right, again. Then the caldarium. Steam forms. The air grows warmer. He checks the basins, adjusts a container, wipes a surface, then the water. He fills a jug. The sound is calm. He carries it, pours. The water becomes still. Then the first visitor arrives. Lucius returns. A man enters quietly. Lucius gestures. The man understands. Clothes placed. Cloth given. Coin exchanged. No words. More visitors follow. The bathhouse fills. The tepidarium becomes calm and warm. People sit, lean back, close their eyes, breathe slowly. Lucius moves among them. Quiet, careful. He wipes, adjusts, steps aside. The caldarium grows hotter. Steam thickens. A man asks for oil. Lucius gives it. Another asks for help with a strigil. Lucius shows the slow movement. The rhythm continues. The frigidarium remains still. A man steps into the water. Ripples form, then fade. Everything returns to calm. Lucius continues. Cloth, shake, fold. Again and again. His hands move without effort. His mind remains quiet. Midday passes gently. The bathhouse is full, yet peaceful. Voices are soft. Movements are slow. Lucius continues. He wipes, carries, adjusts, helps. Small actions, always small. A cloth falls. He picks it up. A man looks uncertain. He helps him. A small nod. Then stillness again. The afternoon begins. The light changes. The bathhouse slows. Fewer visitors. More silence. Lucius notices. He gathers cloths. Washes them. Scrub. Rinse. Wring. Again and again. The sound of water remains steady. The bathhouse empties. The changing room becomes quiet. The caldarium loses steam. The tepidarium becomes still. Lucius walks through each room, checking, adjusting, restoring order. Everything returns to its place. The final visitor leaves. The door closes. Silence returns. Lucius stands still. He breathes slowly. The day is complete. He washes his hands, steps outside. The evening air is soft. The sky calm. He walks home, step by step. No rush, no thought, only quiet. He eats. He rests. He lies down. His breathing slows. His body relaxes. His mind becomes still. And the days continue. The same rhythm, the same calm, the same quiet life. Unchanged, endless, gentle. Another day begins, just as softly as all the others. Lucius opens his eyes slowly, as if he is still inside a dream that has not fully faded. The light is gentle. The room is quiet. And for a moment, he does nothing at all. He breathes in, then out, and lets the calm stay. He sits up. His feet touch the floor. Cool. Familiar. He pauses, just like always. Then begins. Water on his face. A small piece of bread. The same tunic. Nothing changes. And that is what makes everything feel peaceful. He steps outside. The street is quiet. A distant sound fades away. His steps are steady. The same path. The same turns. He reaches the bathhouse and opens the door. The quiet welcomes him again. The air feels warm already. The stone beneath his feet holds a gentle heat, as if the building remembers every day before this one. Lucius notices, but continues. He begins. Cloths first. Shake. Fold. Fold again. Then again. The stack grows neatly. He adjusts the edges. Perfect. Then the oil. Lift. Tilt. Watch. Place. Wipe. Clean. He walks into the tepidarium. Warm. The stone floor holds a soft heat. He places his hand on a bench. Warm. He wipes slowly, left to right, again. Then the caldarium. Steam forms. The air grows warmer. He checks the basins, adjusts a container, wipes a surface, then the water. He fills a jug. The sound is calm. He carries it. Pours. The water becomes still again. Then the first visitor arrives. Lucius returns. A man enters quietly. Lucius gestures. The man understands. Clothes placed. Cloth given. Coin exchanged. No words. More visitors follow. The bathhouse fills. The tepidarium becomes calm and warm. People sit, lean back, close their eyes, breathe slowly. Lucius moves among them. Quiet. Careful. He wipes, adjusts, steps aside. The caldarium grows hotter. Steam thickens. A man asks for oil. Lucius gives it. Another asks for help with a strigil. Lucius shows the slow movement. The rhythm continues. The frigidarium remains still. A man steps into the water. Ripples form, then fade. Everything returns to calm. Lucius continues. Cloth, shake, fold. Again and again. His hands move without effort. His mind remains quiet. Midday passes gently. The bathhouse is full, yet peaceful. Voices are soft. Movements are slow. Lucius continues. He wipes, carries, adjusts, helps. Small actions, always small. A cloth falls. He picks it up. A man looks uncertain. He helps him. A small nod. Then stillness again. The afternoon begins. The light changes. The bathhouse slows. Fewer visitors. More silence. Lucius notices. He gathers cloths. Washes them. Scrub. Rinse. Wring. Again and again. The sound of water remains steady. The bathhouse empties. The changing room becomes quiet. The caldarium loses steam. The tepidarium becomes still. Lucius walks through each room, checking, adjusting, restoring order. Everything returns to its place. The final visitor leaves. The door closes. Silence returns. Lucius stands still. He breathes slowly. The day is complete. He washes his hands, steps outside. The evening air is soft. The sky is fading. The light becomes dim. Lucius walks home, step by step. The city is quieter now than ever. A faint sound of a door, a distant voice. Then silence again. He reaches his home, eats a simple meal, sits for a moment, then lies down. His breathing slows. His body relaxes. His mind becomes still. The world becomes quiet, almost silent, and the calm remains. Soft, deep, endless. Another morning could begin, just like all the others. But now everything feels even softer, as if time itself has slowed down completely. Lucius opens his eyes, but there is no need to move quickly. The light is gentle. The room is quiet. The air is still. He takes a slow breath and lets it go. For a moment, he remains still. Then, slowly, he sits up. His feet touch the floor. Cool. Familiar. The same feeling he has, known for so many days. He pauses, just like always. A small moment of stillness before anything begins. Water on his face, a small piece of bread, the same tunic, the same life. He steps outside. The street is quiet, almost empty. The sounds are distant and soft, as if the world itself is still resting. Lucius walks, step by step, the same path, the same turns. Nothing changes. He reaches the bathhouse. The door opens. The quiet welcomes him again. The air is warm, holding the memory of many days. The stone beneath his feet feels soft with heat. Lucius notices, but continues. He begins. Cloths first. Shake. Fold. Fold again. Then again. The motion is smooth and endless. The stack grows neatly. He adjusts the edges. Perfect. Then the oil. Lift. Tilt. Watch. Place. Wipe. Clean. Ready. He walks into the tepidarium. Warm. The stone floor holds a gentle heat. He places his hand on a bench. Warm. He wipes slowly, left to right. Again. Then the caldarium. Steam forms. The air grows warmer. He checks the basins, adjusts a container, wipes a surface, then the water. He fills a jug. The sound is calm. He carries it. Pours. The water becomes still again. Then the first visitor arrives. Lucius returns. A man enters quietly. Lucius gestures. The man understands. Clothes placed. Cloth given. Coin exchanged. No words. More visitors follow. The bathhouse fills. The tepidarium becomes calm and warm. People sit, lean back, close their eyes, breathe slowly. Lucius moves among them. Quiet, careful. He wipes, adjusts, steps aside. The caldarium grows hotter. Steam thickens. A man asks for oil. Lucius gives it. Another asks for help with a strigil. Lucius shows the slow movement. The rhythm continues. The frigidarium remains still. A man steps into the water. Ripples form, then fade. Everything returns to calm. Lucius continues. Cloth, shake, fold. Again and again. His hands move without effort. His mind remains quiet. Midday passes. The bathhouse is full, yet peaceful. Voices are soft. Movements are slow. Lucius continues. He wipes, carries, adjusts, helps. Small actions, always small. A cloth falls. He picks it up. A man looks uncertain. He helps him. A small nod. Then stillness again. The afternoon comes. The light softens. The bathhouse slows. Fewer visitors. More silence. Lucius notices. He gathers cloths, washes them. Scrub, rinse, wring. Again and again. The sound of water is steady. The bathhouse empties. The changing room becomes quiet. The caldarium loses steam. The tepidarium becomes still. Lucius walks through each room, checking, adjusting, restoring order. Everything returns to its place. The final visitor leaves. The door closes. Silence returns. Lucius stands still. He breathes slowly. The day is complete. He washes his hands, steps outside. The evening air is soft. The sky fades into darkness. He walks home, step by step. No rush, no thoughts, only quiet. He reaches his home, eats a simple meal, sits for a moment, then lies down. His body relaxes completely. His breathing becomes slow and deep. His mind becomes empty. And now, there is nothing more to do. No more movement. No more sound. Only rest. The days will continue, the same as always. But for now, everything becomes still. The warmth fades into calm. The quiet becomes deeper. And slowly, very slowly, everything drifts into sleep.